It's 7:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Papers will be filed with the Supreme Court today in a final bid to stop the cutting of the Newcastle heavy rail line at Wickham. Save Our Rail is applying for a Supreme Court injunction and hopes to have the matter heard early next week. Community-based groups from across the Hunter have joined forces, publishing an open letter in the Newcastle Herald today, pleading with Premier Mike Baird not to cut the rail line. Meanwhile, the New South Wales Greens are criticising the state government for not releasing a corridor management plan ahead of the scheduled truncation of the Newcastle railway line. A corridor management plan is a condition of consent and would address environmental and heritage impacts around the construction of the proposed Wickham interchange. Greens MP Maureen Faruqi says the fact such a plan hasn't been presented only raises further questions over the government's proposed strategy.
Well, if the public hasn't seen a corridor management plan, either there is not one or the Transport Department is a bit chaotic and hasn't produced one in time.
A group of men allegedly responsible for thefts from ATMs in the Hunter and the South Coast are due to face a Sydney court today after being extradited from the Northern Territory. The 3 Albanians and 1 Italian are accused of breaking into ATMs at Thornton and Katara, netting them $250,000, along with 8 other machines over a 4-month crime spree. They arrived at Sydney Airport last night from Darwin. They're facing a total of 31 charges. Police have allegedly caught 2 men and a woman trying to sell stolen copper wire at Morisset. Police have received a number of reports of copper cabling being stolen from premises on the western side of Lake Macquarie. Sonia Roberts from Police Headquarters says investigations led officers to bushland at Freeman's Waterhole.
They found a stolen box trailer and an area where copper cable had allegedly been incinerated. Further investigations were carried out and police went to a scrap metal business in Morisset. There they've allegedly located 2 men and a woman trying to sell approximately 120 kilograms of charred copper wiring.
The 2 men have been charged and will face Toronto local court today, while the woman was released without charge. The unemployment rate in Newcastle and Lake Macquarie has more than doubled in the past 12 months. More than 8.7% of people are now out of work, while the number of unemployed people across the rest of the region is at a 6-year high, with the jobless figure now at 9.3%. Recently released figures from the Bureau of Crime Statistics show incidents in registered clubs across Newcastle and the Hunter Valley have dropped by 53% in the last 10 years. Clubs' strong zero-tolerance approach to bad behaviour has been named as the reason behind the significant drop. State Councillor for Clubs New South Wales and the Hunter, John Chin, says he isn't surprised by the region's figures due to their vigilance and zero-tolerance attitudes.
We are all connected together in terms of making sure that the safety of our members when they arrive at a club is sort of maintained. In terms of behaviour, dress rules, anything misconduct and so on, it's sort of pounced upon. So we try to diffuse any bad behaviour from the word go.
Now with sport, Belinda De La Ceres.
The Newcastle Jets have conceded they'll have to rummage their bag of tricks if the side has any chance of stealing its first season win against Adelaide United tonight. Rookie midfielder Alan Welsh is tipped to fill central defence for suspended captain Q Yarleens. Winger James Virgili, who's been out of action since the Jets' round 6 loss to Brisbane, has also been named. The boys will need to claim victory to give themselves a shot at the playoffs and avoid becoming just the second team in A-League history to be winless at Christmas. Meanwhile, acting Jets skipper Joel Griffiths says he's yet to begin talks with club officials on a new deal, despite going off contract at the end of the season. The 35-year-old insists he's focused on form and has no plans to take up the captaincy mantle full-time. And 62-year-old Duckenfield powerlifter David Parker has etched his name in the world record books, bench pressing an impressive 150 kilograms at this year's Oceania and Asian Raw Powerlifting Championships. That's sport. I'm Belinda De La Ceres.
To NURFM News Time 26 to 8.